Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be still mission 2 in Normandy, and this is the reattempt, the start of the reattempt. I'm not sure how many turns I'm going to do in this video, so I'm not going to say this is just turn 1, it could be turn 1 and 2, depending on time. So let's have a brief recap of where we are, and also a few of the little errors. If you did follow on from episode 10 or turn 10 or the first attempt, there was a few things that I made in error. So as a brief recap, the original mission didn't go too well. They had a German counterattack on turn 8, which turned things around, and there's a German machine gun that actually came in the marsh as an ambush, as they must have been wearing multiple green stems in his helmet, and yeah, they fell back to a farm that I'd left empty, that I'd just pulled out of. So that left that card available for them to set up on, which they remain topped up with their ammo. I was allowed to then set up on secured cards, and there's a few I've left empty, but I was allowed to set up on them. And the first mistake is I thought I'd be entitled, in fact it was in the comments, that oh, for the reattempt you'll get your artillery back. No, I don't get my forward observer back, so I don't get my mortar forward observer or my artillery forward observer until mission 3. So the only artillery assets I've got is I've got all the ammo. The only person who can call it in is the company commander, and he's not as good as those two particular officers are, or observers. The other little mistake I made, which was a little bit on the reading side, if you remember, I took some prisoners, and I had 3 assault teams that had escorted their prisoners, and it said I couldn't use them to reconstitute. So I took that as I couldn't use them. Well, it didn't say I can't use, just I couldn't use them to reconstitute the squads. So I have deployed them. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. So to win the scenario, I basically got to take this guy out and secure or clear this card. I also now have only got, there's no new potential contacts being placed, though if there's another German counterattack, there could be, but they're all contact A's. I have to take objective 1 and objective 2 and clear that card back there with the heavy machine gun to win. Gaining these 2 is not so important, but it's experience points to do so. But basically securing those 2 is essential. Okay. My plan, as it were, I don't know how many commands I'm going to get, but what I've planned is, first platoon is here. That's my most veteran platoon. It's got my veteran company commander, platoon commander, and the veteran squads. They are going to be assaulting those 2 positions with the aid of the company sergeant. That's their job. That's what I'm assigning to them. Second platoon is here, and their job is to engage this and expand into these if possible. I'm not rushing those particular ones, but engage here. We have a squad from first platoon here, just in case. We also have third platoon, which is really weakened. That's the ones I've been taking guys out of to supplement the other units, and his job is to also engage this machine gun, but the primary way I want to engage it is getting the company HQ to start firing some artillery into here, hopefully. I've also got the mortar, which has got his own radio, who has got line of sight through the cemetery into this farm as well, to put some heavy fire into that particular location if needed. My communications, okay, I've got a telephone line here. I'm not sure if I need this telephone line to connect to the staging area, but I have anyway. Phone line here. which then connects into the company HQ here, who then extends the line through this hedgerow into 3rd Platoon HQ, which then sends the phone line through the woods, through to, I was going to say the sergeant, he hasn't got a phone, through to 1st Platoon HQ, which then goes to the XO officer here, which then goes through to this guy here, the 2nd Platoon HQ, and then comes down to the mortar section, or you could say the link from the company HQ goes through the mortar section through. So there's 2 routes of the communication. So that's what we need to do. Let's see if I can do it. Right, so we are in turn 1, and there's no HQ event on turn 1, and we go to the friendly command phase, whereupon our company commander is flipped, ready to receive orders. So it's the company HQ impulse. Now, he is veteran. We are currently starting at contact. Okay. As soon as we start, though, things happen. Before I even draw a card, there's fire going to be coming in on this dude. So we've got a 50 cal here, so I'm going to open up with that first of all. So place a PDF. That'll be going in there. I can take that. Okay, and that puts heavy fire, volume of fire on that card. There we go. There'll also be fire coming from here. I'm going to place a PDF there, move it to there to show it's coming from that corner, turn that around. That puts him under a crossfire. Okay. There's also fire coming from here. They all open up. Don't seem to understand, if I give them initial orders, not open up, but they don't understand they open up straight away. Okay. These guys will also open up. That's the problem I have in someone behind you. Place PDF. That comes down here. Though they will be moving off that card at some point, they're still firing down there. These guys also place a PDF. So I can order them to cease fire, but that will require one of my precious orders. Too far. And these guys place PDF. So the highest volume of fire is still from the 50 cal. Whoops, went the wrong button. And then the wrong counter. Come on. Okay. All right. Now, the German opens up as well. So who does he fire upon? So it says under, I was going to look under enemy spotter. He's not a spotter. He's got engaging under the rule 6.11. But I've got to find the chart where it has 6.11. Here we go. So he's on a card with enemy unit. Card with most friendly steps. Random if equal. And then if choosing a target on the same card, so he's not. So with the most steps. So if I F1 button 1 that 6. That one's only got 4. Definitely only got 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's either one of those two that he actually fires on. Okay, so it's randomly determined from those two. So number 1 is the open ground for a card. Okay, he fires on number 2. So, and let's just flip that. Beep. And this is now therefore got a volume of fire of, he's an automatic weapon. So that's got a state 2 on that. Okay. all the guys, where these foxholes are, all the guys are in the foxholes. Sort of define that. Okay, so that is before I even draw for commands. Now the aim, if we can get some artillery on here, that will stop his fire. Okay, so company commander, he's veteran, he is undercover, but we are already at contact. So drawing a card, he draws 4. Let's just verify what I just sprouted about. Okay, HQ or staff status, he's veteran +1. Current activities not changing, and he's undercover. So that's +2. So he gets 6 commands. It's a good start. Now, as I saw with my friend Dad versus Son, he drew a 0 in his company commander on one of these phases, and he got no orders because he was green, and that was horrible. Everything activated under initiative, so it's worthwhile maybe keeping a couple back. Anyway, quite happy with the 50 cal firing here. And I'm going to activate 1st and 2nd platoon to start with. Okay, so 1st platoon and 2nd platoon. Okay, so he has got all 6 orders. He's now down to 4. The next one is we want to call in that artillery. So he's radioing the artillery. Now, when it comes to, as I say, he's not as good as the FOs that we don't have anymore. So he's got a card draw of 2, and he's going to call in the 105s if possible. So we need the explosive symbol. No. And yes. Okay. So we now have, just double check. I think it is -5, isn't it? Yes, it's -5. Okay. So he's called in a fire mission. That is useful. Pending fire mission -5. There we go. Right. That is useful. That alleviates a few of the other issues, because that means he will not be firing out, so therefore that's not going to be there. All right. So he's used up 3 commands now. He is going to activate the XO and the sergeant as well, so I can start maybe banking a few, but he's not going to activate 3rd platoon. So let's flip that, that's 4 plus the artillery is 5, so we've got 1 left. Okay, platoon HQ and CO staff impulse, so we will activate 1st platoon, and 1st platoon will draw a card. Right, now 1st platoon commander is veteran, so that's 2 plus 1 for veteran, 3, and I'm assuming I put him under cover. Where is he? There he is. I said they're all under that. Yeah, so that's 4. So he gets +2 to that 2. So he's got 4 commands. Okay. What do we want him to do? As I say, we want to capture those 2 places. And he's here. All right. So the first thing he will do is he will order the assault team here to go into the hedgerow bocage here, and we'll mark him as exposed for doing so. 3 orders left. Okay, I think if we cease fire, they'll start firing again, because we don't have any troops on here to stop them. So there's no point doing that. I don't think we need to move anyone else up there. So I'm just going to show this a little bit better. Okay, they're all under the auspices of that foxhole. But I won't move. So he's done 1. I might as well bank the rest. So Used one, so he's got 3 remaining. There's that. Okay. Second platoon. Draw a card. Now, second platoon, unfortunately, he's green. So he draws a 5. I'm assuming I put him under cover. Where is second platoon? No, he's not under cover because there was no cover on the card. So he's not under cover, so he doesn't get a +1 there. So he's got 5, but he's green, which is 4. That's not too shabby. Okay. What do we want the second platoon to do? Right, well, now that we've got the artillery in there, I don't need to do too much with these guys, as in firing down here, who are going to use with the XO. But we are going to move this assault team forward into this hedgerow here. In actual fact, we'll move them into the cover that is nice and available there. So that's one, and that will also mark him as exposed for the benefit of doing it. So he's got 3 orders left. Is there anything else I wanted to do at the present moment? Yeah, let's actually look for some cover on this card. So we'll get the second squad to look for cover, and there's 4 bits of cover, or potentially cover on that. No, there's 2 bits of cover, but they're drawing 4 cards to look for it. So drawing 4 cards. 1, looking for the word cover at the top. 2, we find cover, and 4. Yeah. Okay, so we found cover on that card. Let's actually find it, cover, there we go. And we'll put it there. Only that squad's there, and he will then be marked exposed as well. He's moved within that card. So there's 2 orders remaining. He'll move himself and the machine gun into that cover. So again, marking himself exposed and the machine gun exposed. So that leaves, well, he could have done, I'll tell you what, get all of them into the cover. Will be a platoon move. So yeah, might as well. I'm shooting, well, don't make assumptions with this game. This is one of the big mistakes I make. If you make assumptions, the assumption I'm making is you can do platoon move within a card. Movement actions. Move platoon to adjacent cards. Attempt to seek cover. Yeah, there isn't one. Move to adjacent card. Move a platoon to adjacent card. Attempt to infiltrate an adjacent card. Attempt to platoon infiltrate an adjacent card. Attempt to seek cover. Move within a card. Any good order unit. Attempt to infiltrate within a card, but there's no platoon move within a card. Interesting. Okay, so as I say, I was making an assumption, so this squad didn't move into there, so he's not exposed. So he still used all his orders, but that didn't occur. Delete. Right. So let me just mark that. And for some reason the map is slightly wonky. He's used all his orders. There we go. All right. Okay. Not sure why the map's slightly wonky. But, yeah, let's straighten that back up. Right. So next up then is the XO. Boom, 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 boom. Draw a card, and the XO is green. So he's got 1. Is he undercover? Where is the XO? He's over here. He's not undercover, so he doesn't get a bonus there. And he's green, so his 1 becomes a big, fat, hairy 0. In other words, nothing. He would actually been better off without being activated, because he would have got a default 1. Okay, first sergeant. He gets 1. Okay, now he's line, so he stays at 1. And where is he? he's here. He is in that foxhole, so he gets another one for that in cover. So he gets 2. That's 2 rather lousy draws there, isn't it? But that happens. That does happen. Right, so what do we want him to do? Well, he's got an assault team as well. So we want them, as one of them, to move into there. Again, marked as exposed. Boom. And that's about it, really. Move this up a little bit so they're all in the foxhole. Super team there. Yes, the squad is firing down here. There's no point ceasing the fire at this point. So, all right, so he's done one order. So he banks the other one. Well, that's the platoon and CO staff impulse. We now go to the initiative segment where we do 3rd platoon. So we're looking at the little number. He gets 2. He's green, which becomes 1, and there's no cover marker on it, so he's only got 1. I don't think at this point there's much we want to do with him. Say they're quite a reduced. Yeah. No, we're quite happy with that. Yeah. At the present moment, we're happy with that. Okay, so we'll bank that. Right, next up is general initiative. We get 3. That is useful. That is indeed very useful, because that allows me to pop smoke on each one of these guys. So, well, I say pop smoke. Do we actually look for cover rather than smoke? On this one, yeah, there's 3 attempts to cover there, and we could actually get a really decent building. So we're looking for the word cover. We're drawing 3 cards. 1, 2. There you go. Of course you didn't get it. All right. +2. That's +2, and that's +2. They're already in cover, so this one then will be +1 cover. I think I'd rather look for cover, so he'll look for cover. 4, 1, 2, he finds it. 3 and 4. Remember, you've got to keep drawing the cards until the number that you're trying to draw is complete. So I'm now going to place a cover marker on this card, which he's now in. Okay, so that's 2 orders done so far. So we're going to have him pop smoke. All white phosphorus. I thought I brought smoke. Oh well. All white phosphorus. There we go. Right, so that's my 3 general initiative impulses. Right, enemy higher HQ event, first turn nothing. Enemy activity check. There will be an enemy activity check on this guy. Okay, so what is he going to do? Let's have a look, shall we? Right, so he's on defensive orders. Oh, I can't remember. I think this is hasty defense, isn't it? Let me double check. The last 3 turns they were on a sort of offensive. Tactics hasty defense. Yes. Okay. So hasty defense on the same card. No, he's not on the same. He's not out of ammo. No, not under fire, but has a valid. He is under fire. Under fire, but not under. He is under fire from different direction to his own PDF. Well, he's under multiple directions, isn't he? So I think that's the one that applies. 1 to 4, under 5 from a different direction to his own PDF. Okay. Can't see anything above that. That applies. Yeah. Okay. So drawing 1 to 4, and it's number 1. So go back on that. Under 5 from a different direction to his own PDF. Deliberate defense. No action. All right, so in other words, he keeps firing along his thing, but he doesn't try to concentrate fire, doesn't try to fall back, doesn't try to get out of dodge, does not pass go, does not collect £200. Bloody git. Okay, so that's him done. Mutual capture, retreat, no. Retreat segment, no. No vehicles. Mutual combat phase, right. So this now flips. Boom. Okay. Potential contact evaluation segment. We've got a few of those. We have got, I'm putting these at the top here, we've got 3 A's. We are still under engaged now. Yes, because we have got 2 or more occupied cards are under a volume of fire markers. And that is the case because, oh, wait a minute, is it? No. This blocks his view. So this now changes to just that way now. So there's no volume of fire marker on that card. So therefore we are still under contact. There's only 1 card which has currently got a volume of fire. So contact is correct. 1 friendly occupied or enemy occupied card is under a volume of fire, or at least 1 spotted enemies on the map. Yes. 2 or more occupied cards are under a volume of fire. So it was going to be going out to engage, but it stays at contact. So under contact, we have to work out which one of the 3. So it's 1, 2, 3 as we go along. Draw a card. And it's the 3rd one. So it's the rightmost column. Right. So under, these are A's. Under contact, we're drawing 7 cards to see if someone's actually there. 1, 2, yes, definitely. Well, it's going to be a reshuffle, so I might as well stop at that point. So, okay, so we've definitely got contact with this guy. Right. So as a level A potential contact, we have to see what we getting 1 to 3. No, we're looking at 1 to 10 donut. Right, okay, down we come. 1 to 10. Draw a card. Looking at the 10 is option 2. Option 2, PCA A, 1 to 3, uses package 3, which is our favourite, the machine gun nest. Okay, LMG with 6 ammo or HMG with 8 ammo. We draw a card. 1, it's a HMG. I was going to say 1 is an LMG because that was the first option. So there's a heavy machine gun with 8 ammo. Okay, and at maximum line of sight and spotted. So where is he? Unit placement, 1 to 4 to the front, and we're looking at numbers 1 to 8. So looking at 8, it's an 8. So he's to the right front at maximum LOS. So let's have a look. Right front to this card is this way. Right, so it's maximum, so that's close. So we have to see if there's something here and possibly here. So let's just zoom out a little bit. All right, draw a card and flip it. Is that a hill? No, it's a farm. All right, so there's a farm there. Heavy machine gun has got very long range. Oh, I assume it's very long range. It's just a heavy machine gun nest. Let's. It is. There he is. Okay, and he's in a foxhole with 8 ammunition. So we'll work that out in a minute. So we need to check if that card beyond that is a hill. So if that, it isn't. Right. Okay, so let me just put these in place. All right, that's it. so I'm just going to lock these. Toggle, lock.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Toggle, lock. I think that's locked, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so he's going to be in this position here because from here he can't see through. So he's in that position there. Right, I'm going to pause and give him all his dubbins. Okay, so there he is, heavy machine gun. Volume of fire on here is now automatic, firing weapons, and he's in a foxhole. Okay, so that's that potential contact done. So I'm going to put that on my sheet there. Now there is 2 volumes of fire, so that will now change to engaged. Going back on that, as you can see, 2 or more occupied cards are now under volume of fire markers. The only way it can escalate any further than that is if both enemy and friendly units on it, which won't be happening this activation. Okay, so there's 2 left. So 1 and 2, left to right. We're looking at number 2 first. Okay, and because it's now engaged, we're drawing 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, there's contact, 4 and 5. All right, so we're working out, this was number 2, so we're working out this dude. All right, so we're drawing 1 to 10, see what we get for this contact, which is number 9. Oh no, not a counter-attack, is it? Please, please. No. Number 9, PCA 9 is, it's a maneuver squad. It says package 9 is a maneuver squad. Okay. Squad infiltration attempt CSR 6. That's campaign special rules 6. Now let's see what that's. I think it's trying to infiltrate onto. Well, no, so look. CSR 6. The squad infiltration attempt package is drawn. Make an infiltration attempt by drawing 2 cards, adjusting for experience, and look for an infiltration icon. If that action is successful, place a new enemy unit on the placement card not exposed and under the best non-US occupied cover marker currently on the card. If the action is not successful, place the enemy unit on the card out of cover and mark as exposed. No actual movement takes place. The attempt is only made to determine if the exposed status of the unit on the placement card. Okay, so it's a German squad. So let's see what kind of German squad we get. So we're drawing from this package here. Also a bit of a nasty dude. All right, so he's trying to infiltrate onto this card here, the placement card. So what I said a moment ago, where it won't get any worse, it might do, because now we've got enemy trying to get onto the card. So sometimes just ignore what I'm saying, because I'm talking absolute bollocks. Right, okay. So we've got to draw 2 cards to see if he infiltrates. The little infantry symbol, he doesn't. That's useful. Right, so he's now exposed as well. There is no cover on that card for him, because we've already nabbed it. All right, so I'm going to put him a bit more up there. So as soon as he comes on that card, exposed, he will fire here, because he's got an automatic weapon. Okay. Well, he's only got 2 steps. Should only have 3. There we go. Yeah. So he's AS. And we need to give him. So if he runs out of ammo, he's still got S. He still fires in the normal squad. And he comes on the board with 6 ammo. So let's give him a 6 ammo counter. Machine gun ammo. But the state is he's got 6 there. Now, what that also means is my guy here actually opens fire on him as well. So there is another volume of fire there. And my guy is also automatic. So we're both under volumes of bio automatic. Okay, let's put that underneath the counter. Boom, and there we go. Right, interesting. So that's that potential contact dealt with. And then this one. So now we have got troops of both sides on the same card. We are now heavily engaged, which I didn't think we'd get to, but I wasn't expecting an enemy infiltration. So let me just change that to heavily engaged. And that means we draw the last 3 cards. And we get him. So they all were enemies, all contacts. Okay, let's see what we get on this one. 10 is a 10. 10 is a 10. Package 10 out of 10 is package 10. It's a pillbox. Oh, so there's no counter. Oh, the counterattack is only. All right, it's only a HQ event. I thought there might have been a package that said counterattack. It's not. Okay, so we've got a pillbox. Another heavy machine gun with 8 ammo in a pillbox. Okay, 1 or 2, it's at point blank. 3 to 10, maximum LR line of sight and range. Okay, so looking at 1 to 10, it's a 10, so it's not point blank. That's useful. Okay, so maximum LOS and range. So direction, looking at 1 to 8, you draw 3, so that's to the front. To the front, maximum LOS. Okay, so that's from this card here. To the front. Right, so we've got to work out what that is. And then maybe hills beyond that. So the first card, drawing the card, flip it over. Okay, it's a farm. All right, so the next card then, flip it over. It's an orchard, so that would be close, long. So we've got 1 more to draw. I'll be placing these up there in a minute. Is that a hill? It is a hill. So he's on the hill, and what's on top of the hill is a church. Interesting. Right, let's move. Can we highlight all those to move them up? No. All right, I thought I'd be able to do that. So we have another farm. Then we have the hill with the church. No, we don't. We have the orchard with the grove. I'm running out of table space. I can't move up there, so I am going to put the hill and the church. He's not in the church because he's in a pillbox. So I'm going to put, does that fit on there? Yeah. Okay, there's the hill. There's the church. I'm just going to squeeze these down a bit, actually. Because he's not in that card. He's not in that card. So there we go. Doesn't want to. Okay. Toggle lock. Toggle lock. Hopefully, before I start shouting my mouth off, these will be the last Germans that will be brought into the fray. Doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Okay. And lock. Right. So, German pillbox with a heavy machine gun. So let me sort that out while I'll pause. Okay. So, there he is on the hill in the churchyard, shooting down. He's got high advantage into here. And that's very long range. And, he's unspotted. Where's the unspotted markers? There it is. If we'd drawn the point blank, he would have actually been in the farm here. And it would be classed as an outflanked, or potentially outflanked, what do you call it? Machine gun nest or pillbox. and it would have been facing a random direction. But that didn't occur. That was a campaign special rule. Okay, so unspotted heavy machine gun fire coming onto here. And we can now remove that. And that is the last of the potential contacts. On those cards, there's just one left, which is here, which I don't necessarily have to draw. Right. Next up then is combat effects segment. Okay, so where have we got to resolve combat? We've got this card, this card, this card, and this card. Sorry, this card. Okay, so we'll start from left to right, top to bottom. So starting here then. What have we got going on here? Obviously we're not returning fire here. Okay, so we have got this guy in the farm. So +2 for the farm, -2 for exposed, so it's 0. -1 for the automatic, +1 for the white phosphorus, so it's a 0. Net 0. Draw a card at 0. He's pinned. But we couldn't ask for much better than that. So place a pin marker on it. Okay. As I'm doing this, I'm going to consume his ammunition. State goes to 7. Trying to keep track of it all. Right here. So we have a little bit of a firefight. We've got 2 lots of automatic fire. So we'll resolve the German and then we'll resolve the American. So we have got the terrain is, we're firing within the card, so it's +1 for both sides rather than +2. So +1 for the terrain, -1 for the automatic fire, so that cancels, -2 for exposed. So it's a net -2 on the German. -2, draw card. -2 is a hit. He's a line unit. Line unit, he becomes paralyzed. Or, sorry, not the whole unit. One step becomes paralyzed, the whole unit becomes pinned. Okay, so pull a that. And that becomes state 5, state 6 paralyzed. Okay, and then the lot become pinned. Right. Him back, and I'll consume his ammunition now. Goes to 5. Right, so volume of fire is -1. Terrain was +1, so they cancel out. +1 for the basic cover, -2 for the exposed, net -1 on my guy. Net -1 is a miss. Woo! Unusual, but there we go. So that's those 2 cards dealt with. This card. Right. So we have the heavy machine gun -1. The hedgerow +2, so net +1. Cover +1, +2. Exposed -2, net 0. Is also a miss. Okay, not too shabby. That's all that row done. Nothing on this row. So it's just the incoming here. Now, this, I better double check. Does the crossfire still come into effect? I know some of you rule experts will be going, of course it does, or of course it doesn't. Oh, there we go. So volume of fire is the incoming airstrikes, or incoming or airstrikes. So it's the largest of those, or the automatic weapon, or the heavy weapons, or whatever. So the largest one of those is the incoming, so it's -5. Crossfire is a VOF modifier, so that does count, -6 separately. We haven't got any problems with the visibility. So it's -6, and then he's in +2 cover here, and +2 for the light building, +4. So net -2. A mere pin on the dude. Okay. Right. Now, he was firing out, but that stopped, so I'm assuming he doesn't consume ammo. Regarding consumptions of ammo and such forth, I need to actually do that fire mission, don't I? So we brought in 105, so that goes down to 3 left. There we go. I was hoping he's how big a step unit is he? Yeah, I was hoping to do a bit more than that, but I can't really complain considering how I got away with the fire up here. So, I think that's everybody. All done. We've consumed... Oh, no, it's not. We still consumed ammunition, even though it wasn't really... So the 50 cal state goes to 3. This one still fired, state goes to 3. That's a bazooka, so that's a separate actual firing entity. That didn't fire, so I think that's everybody. Okay, all right, so let's do a cleanup. Turn marker moved on to turn 2. There we go. Should I push on? I tell you what, why not? I tell you why not, because that's still taken like 47 minutes. So a lot happened there. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to do in the next turn. So maybe we will pause there. That is, yeah, turn 1. So, all right. Well, let me know what you think. Comments always appreciated, as you know. I will be shooting another video straight after this, but it will be a separate video. And yeah, as I say, hit the like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. All helps the channel. Another thing, if you could do me a favor, share this with someone who you think might enjoy it. You know, apparently that's a big thing. You can share these videos. Someone that might not know of my channel, you might think, hey, they might be interested in this. It again just helps spreading the love, spreading the word. So yeah, it's the first time I've done a reattempt. Interesting situation there. I'm quite happy with the way that turn panned out overall, but 9 turns still to go. Until next time though, guys, play games, have fun. Bye, internet.